In this video, I'm going to quickly show you how to get a buttercream galaxy effect on your cake.
All right, I am getting my cake out of the refrigerator. The icing is solid. I'm not going to mess it up. I have some pink, some purple, and some blue American buttercream already dyed, and I'm just going to randomly put this on the cake. So I don't want the icing, like I'm trying to just scatter it all over the place. So I'm putting purple where the pink isn't, and just finding open spaces as I go around, and then filling in the rest of the space with blue. And I want to try to cover as much of the white as I can. I have a bench scraper and a paper towel, and I'm running the bench scraper under very hot water, wipe it off on the paper towel, and I'm holding it, at an angle against the cake, holding the bench scraper straight, and I'm just trying to spread those colors onto that cake. So I just want to make sure that it is covering the entire cake. The white crumb coat that I have underneath is not too thick because I'm adding other icing on top, and I also want to do the top, so I'm just adding a little bit more color, and just make sure that this entire cake is covered with this colored buttercream. And I'm just taking my spatula and pressing back any icing that's sticking over the top. And let's put that back in the refrigerator for about an hour so the icing solidifies. Take it back out. Look, the icing is solid. I'm not going to mess it up. I have black American buttercream right now, and I'm going to cover the entire thing with this black American buttercream. I'm not putting on a very thick coat of it. I just want to make sure that you cannot see any of the color underneath. So as I'm doing it, I do have videos showing you how I ice cakes, and it goes into way more detail than this. But look, I'm trying to bring the icing up over the top, and then I'll get some icing on the top as well. And now again, I'm taking the bench scraper, dip it in hot water, wipe it off on the paper towel. You're not going to see me, but every single time I am removing that excess icing off of that bench scraper. So if I hold it like close to the cake, right, like that, it doesn't scrape off too much icing. So look, you see I'm kind of pushing the bench scraper against the cake. It doesn't remove too much. If I hold it perpendicular, is it perpendicular against it? Look how much icing it scrapes off. So I'm kind of going in between. Look, I took off too much, so now I'm trying to press some of that black icing back onto the cake. And I just want to remove enough of the black icing so I can see some of the color underneath. However, I don't want to see too much of the color, so I keep messing around with it. It really is up to you how much you want, how much color you want to see underneath. And then I'm just doing one final swoop, and again using my spatula, and I'm pressing that excess icing back, and I will always put the excess icing in that little container. You won't see me do it every time. And again, this is covered in my tutorial on how I ice a cake and get even sharp edges, and I will link that below. And once I have that, I get a little bit of water on the top so I can smooth out all of the icing. And I'm just getting rid of that excess water. And then I want to take a Viva paper towel. It has no pattern on it. And since this is a crusting buttercream, I can just run this on the outside. It's not going to stick to it because it already formed a crust. Take a fondant smoother, and I'm just trying to shape the cake. It's a little extra of me. You don't have to do that. Set that back in the fridge. Now I want to add the stars, so I take it back out of the fridge and after about an hour, and I'm thinning out some white American buttercream. Look, it's not holding peaks. It's super thin. I have this brush here, and you have to use a brush like this or a toothbrush that has stiff bristles. I'm tapping it in there, and I'm tapping it up against the brush, and then I'm peeling back the bristles, and look, you get stars and galaxy effect. I just love this technique. I was so excited when I figured out how to do it. So I'm just randomly splattering all of this icing all over the cake. Don't forget to do the top as well. And some of the splatters that are a little bigger, I just figure that's a comet, right? So they don't all have to be the same size. I try not to get too much icing on the end of that brush. That way there's not too much icing that splatters on the cake. And And that's perfect. Let's put that back in the fridge. Now I just want to show you how I decorated it. This one, I put edible images. I rolled out fondant really thick so I can get these skewers in the bottom. I have videos showing you how I work with edible images, and I will link that below. I'm getting some piping gel on the bottom where it's going to touch the cake and slide that down onto the top of the cake. And then I made this edible image banner, and I have a video showing you how I do that. I will also link that, getting some piping gel behind it and stick that to the cake. And I made these numbers. I also have videos showing you how I do that. And I'm getting a little icing on the back. I feel like icing sticks a little better. You can use piping gel if you want, and press that against the cake as well. And there is the completed cake. Adorable.
So there you go. That is super simple way to get this really cool effect on your cake. And again, I always start with my cakes already having a thicker crumb coat on it, and I refrigerate all of my cakes so the icing is solid. It has to be solid as you put on those other layers of icing. And this one just happened to be a Baby Yoda theme, but you can decorate it however you'd like. So is there a new technique that you learned in this video? Let me know below. And you can keep in touch on socials and check out my website, and everything is listed in the description. And if you want to stick around, you can watch this video next and hit subscribe and the bell if you haven't already. Please like this video if you liked it. Thank you so much for watching, and remember, it's cake. Have fun. I will see you on the next one. Bye.